You know, it's just good to see everybody having a good time. The country's almost back to normal before World War III. COVID was just so strange. We lost a lot of people during COVID, and most of them are still alive. Yeah, right? Right? Yeah, there's a lot of people that I don't with anymore. Before COVID, I would have told you that vaccines are the most important invention in human history. After COVID, I'm like, I don't think we went to the moon. I think Michelle Obama's got a I think Pizzagate is real. I think there's direct energy weapons in Antarctica. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I don't think Michelle Obama's got a but I believe all that other.
Well, Joe Rogan did a stand-up special, a live stand-up special this past, was it Friday night? This weekend, Friday night or Saturday night. The internet was having an absolute meltdown. What's wild is these clowns that melt down about jokes constantly can't ever seem to figure out. They're literally stuck behind, you know, the meme where like the dude is sweating to figure out which button to push. This is why comedy has these news outlets by the short and curlies. They want to be offended, right? They are offended. But they also know, in my estimation, they also know that comedians are just using them for free press. All these dorks who get all bent out of shape online about this, that, or the other joke, they just do free promotion. You know, from what I've seen or heard, I don't think Joe Rogan's, you know, people don't think Joe Rogan's stand-up was the best that it's ever been, but I'm sure the numbers are going to be huge. And I'm sure that all these dork articles from BuzzFeed and everyone else having meltdowns over a single joke are going to propel the show to astronomical numbers. We've seen Dave Chappelle essentially play these people like a fiddle every single time, right? He can have a 2-hour stand-up special, and all he has to do is make one joke about trans individuals, just a single joke, and he'll get $1 million in free advertising. The problem is these news outlets survive exclusively on outrage media and creating fake outrage, and so they have to cover it. They don't want to cover it. They absolutely do not want to cover it, but they don't have a choice because they have cultivated this audience of people who are absolutely positively desperate to be offended about every little thing. Like they are absolutely positively just foaming at the mouth. People see, oh, Joe Rogan special. Let's look at the headlines. And every headline's basically the same. People are slamming unfunny Joe Rogan after he mocked trans people and made anti-jab jokes in his new Netflix stand-up. By the way, his joke about the jab was not anti-jab. It was simply that the coof and lockdowns changed a lot of people. The joke was simply, wow, we lost a lot of people to that jab, and most of them are still alive. Obviously, the punchline is that, you know, people got TDS or VDS or whatever that, you know, whatever it was, and that's what it is. However, Burn the Boats, his first stand-up special since 2018, is also, let's go back. Misclick. Within minutes of the opening, Joe was talking about woke topics like trans representation and pregnant men. He said that while he considers himself open-minded, he believes trans individuals have been too quickly accepted into American culture. I'm open-minded. I just want to know what happened, he said. It's like some sort of perv wizard waved a magic spell on the whole world. Imitating a wizard, he joked, with the wave of a wand, you can walk into a woman's locker room fully excited, and anyone who complains about it is a bad guy from WW2, abracadabra, and it just works. Exactly where is that joke wrong? I don't think the world, in particular, like let's say people that are watching my videos, I don't think you all are unfamiliar with the Planet Fitness debacle, right? Pretty much everyone knows about the Planet Fitness stuff, right? these guys, biological men, were literally walking into these women's spaces. Two, I guess, biological men are currently competing in the Olympics boxing title for gold and silver after defeating all biological women. This is a real thing that we're all, oh, she's intersex. Okay, fine. Shouldn't be competing against women. Very, very clear, very, very easy thing to do. You don't have to affirm everybody's, delusions all of the time. I just want to know, he added, like it got weird. Joe went on to say that he does believe in trans people and fully supports the right as an adult to do whatever you want to make you happy, but I also believe in crazy people, he quipped. Somehow or another, that got left out of the equation, Joe went on. And all of a sudden, crazy people went away like the flu during the coof. Also a very reasonable joke to make. People stopped talking about, the flu during that. And that was one of the, it's still something that is extremely dangerous for medically compromised and old people. He also made jokes about gay men who he said doesn't want to be surrounded by, and jokes about the strange times during the coof. Joe said, before the coof, I would have told you that the jabs are the most important invention in human history. After, I'm like, I don't think we went to the moon. I think Michelle Obama's got a piece of meat. I think this is real, that's real. I'm just kidding. I don't think Michelle Obama's got meat, but I believe all the other stuff. It was obviously just a joke, right? He was saying, hey, things changed rapidly. I don't know how we got here. And, now I don't know what to believe. I think that encapsulates a lot of people. Of course, viewers quickly took to X to share their thoughts. Randomly watching Joe Rogan live special on Netflix, I did not know he was this unfunny. Like, objectively bombing. I think that it's pretty hilarious that somebody would try to say, oh, I just randomly am watching a Joe Rogan special. You mean you open Netflix during the time at which it was advertised to be a live show, clicked on it, and then watched it. You didn't just come across it. You didn't fall asleep with the TV on and wake up with that playing. You put it on so that you could make a stupid tweet about it. Joe Rogan doesn't believe in the jab and still uses Michelle Obama as trans talking point. Hard to believe so many people listen to this clown. Joe Rogan proving he was right to say he can't tell jokes anymore. I mean, again, all you have to do is make two or three jokes, and the entire left will melt down and do loads of free advertising for you. Like, it's just, why would you seek out content to watch that is going to make you mad? Did you think Joe Rogan wasn't going to make a comment about the coof? Did you think Joe Rogan wasn't going to talk about that? Because obviously everyone knew he would. But the exact same article spewed out on The Independent. Joe Rogan's new Netflix special features anti-jab jokes and makes fun of trans people. Joe Rogan's new, that's The Independent. Here's a Times in a stand-up special. Joe Rogan plays dumb. Joe Rogan's Burn the Boats review, Netflix special relies on the same old coof and gay jokes. By the way, written by, you can see the crowd is absolutely loving it, roaring. The joke that really got them upset was, we lost a lot of people during the coof and most of them are still alive. Joe Rogan quipped at one point, the bulk of Joe Rogan's Burn the Boats dealt heavily with expected political topics ranging from woke culture to China to Rogan's view on the lockdowns and the current state of American affairs. Though his talking points might be complicated from both left and right perspective, Rogan wasn't afraid to let his thoughts be known in a comfortable setting, referring to Texas as the land of the free. He pontificated about he enjoys calling himself a professional-ish talker who others shouldn't take their advice from. There is this one article that, I forget where it is. What was it? Joe Rogan, Dunning-Kruger, I think. This individual was they wrote the most is this it? Yeah, Movie Web. Matt Mahler writes this long piece about how he's just so much more funny than Joe Rogan in the comments that this was a bad read. Author should work on his manifesto instead of reviews. Arrogance from a critic who's never done stand-up. The poison pen seems to have been written long ago because Joe had the gall and dared to question medical arrogance. I don't believe the author has integrity of thinking apart from the opinions of the elite. Poor baby. I mean, you can see this. Every premise of the special was boring and predictable. The worst part is that it spawned hundreds of reviews, even worse than the special itself. At least Rogan managed to squeeze a mild giggle out of his tired topics. This article couldn't even do that. Bad reviews are an opportunity to be more entertaining than the subject. Given the choice between recommending Rogan's special or this article, I'd pick the special. That said, I did appreciate the part where the author decided to set the record straight. Of all the things Rogan said that could make someone go, actually, I didn't expect it to be about independent voters. Joe was right about young people, and you seem not to get it. You might be one of those he's talking about. Wait till you grow older, among other things. There's no democratic socialism. I mean, all these self-aggrandizing, back-patting journos that are quick to rush to be outraged about the Joe Rogan special are getting absolutely crushed. I mean, look, I think if you want to watch it, you could watch it for yourself. I don't think that it was the most funny thing I'd ever seen. You can even see YouTube's got a lot of dislikes on it, 1.4 thousand dislikes. You see, it didn't disappoint. It was just as bad as I figured it would be. Wow, he's going to go live. You better make sure the crowd is drunk. If he is literally not effing a chair in the first 3 minutes, 1 star. I mean, most of the people in these YouTube replies are raging about it. It's a comedy special. You could just not watch it. It wasn't a big deal. You could just not watch it. I think that even if you look at the Rotten Tomatoes, like, people are really upset. 54% from the audience, no official tomato score. By the way, when I click this, it doesn't show me any of the reviews. So it shows me that there's a 54%, but does not show me a single one of the reviews how it got there. I think that's pretty odd. That's pretty odd, right? I can't see anything. So yeah, I don't really care. It's a stand-up special. I think it's funny that basically every major news outlet wrote the exact same outrage piece over it. It just kind of goes to show just how much of an NPC most of these people are. What do you think of a stand-up special? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed the video, please do leave a like on it. If you haven't yet, subscribe or follow down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.